Humor, humor, humor. For a speech to be effective and retentive, a speaker should know how to get his audience attention. Inner Sun is an organization that gives people high emotional intelligence and positive outlook in life. They offer workshops which are highly relevant to your needs without costing you too much. I don't know what costing you too much really means. Maybe our guest can tell us about that later in the program. Personal service and tons of great value and many more. The man behind all this has over 10 years of immeasurable experiences in personal development. He is specialized in understanding how we communicate our thoughts, our ideas and goals, and our vision of the future. Let's welcome the author of The Art of Public Speaking, Mr. Raju Mandhyan. Sir, welcome to the show. Good morning. It's nice to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Okay,
Thank you for inviting me.
It's been this tough question for me. Are you a foreigner or some sort?
I don't know. What do you consider a foreigner? A foreigner is somebody who comes from outside the country, somebody who looks different, or I think everyone's a foreigner. Every child, every father, every Filipino is also a foreigner because 1,000 years ago, I don't think there was anybody called Filipino. Mm-hmm. They were Kayumangis, right? So everybody's a foreigner. If you're asking me if I'm a foreigner in this country, yes. I've been here 30 years, but today I consider myself a Filipino. I may look different, but Pinoy ako.
Okay, that one. This is a curious, just out of my curiosity. What brought you to this island called the Philippines?
I came here in '81 and I wanted to do my MBA at the AIM, all by myself.
MBA is Master in Business Administration.
Yeah, at the AIM. I didn't do it in that year. No, I passed several tests, but life took on. Circumstances took on, and I didn't really study at the AIM. I did a lot of short courses, a lot of long-term courses, but never the MBA.
Okay, before that, when you were in your country, the only motivation was to get additional education.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons that I came to the Philippines, and the second reason was that back in the 70s and 80s, India was a scarce country. Resources were limited and challenges in life were difficult. So people, kids like me, those days, looked for greener pastures outside, and Philippines was a much better country to come to compared to India back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s, the Philippines was doing well. I mean, I was born in 82. I cannot appreciate that.
Oh, you were born in 82, so I came here maybe a year before you did. So therefore, I'm not a foreigner. You're a foreigner because you came after me. Yeah, it was tough in India, easier in the Philippines, but it got really, really tough in the Philippines in 82 and 83. And I'm here, and so
nothing happened with your MBA.
I did my MBE in '97, not at the AIM, but at the University of Asia Pacific in Pasig.
So tell us more about how you really started the business.
In the Philippines, I've been into 3 businesses. In the early part of my life, I was an investment consultant for commodities and futures. And then I spent a good 20 years traveling from Philippines to the US, to South America, to the whole world actually, and I was selling Filipino-made goods. Since nearly 1997, I'm into training and development, human resource development. That's what I'm into.
Okay, so is it hard doing a business here in the Philippines?
Just a bit, not too much.
Because I've actually heard a rumor that if you're a foreigner, it takes you some time really before you can even register your own business. Language barrier maybe.
I don't think there's a language barrier. Compare yourself to Thailand, Indonesia, any other country. There's no language barrier. It's easy actually. What is tough is the quality of the economy, the quality of the stability in this country, and the safety of doing business. That's been tough.
So hindi ka talaga nahihirapan when you started the business here?
Hindi naman masyado. Madali mag-umpisa ng business.
Because
mahirap mag-succeed.
Mahirap mag-succeed. No, that's the other part.
Starting walang problema.
For some of the viewers, maybe some of the reasons that I identified myself when I was asking them bakit hindi kayo nag-start ng sarili yung negosyo is because it's very hard to register a business. At least that's what they
I hope DTA people don't hear you or from BOI. It is tough. You can start up, but the processes of registering a company and SEC, though they have been trying to streamline it for the last so many years, they've been trying to computerize it, and they have been trying to make it a one-stop action center. It's not really smooth yet compared to US, compared to Singapore. But you know, that's one of the minor challenges. The major challenge is the quality of the economy. That's the major challenge. And the quality of the political stability. That's the major challenge. Starting up a business, you know, the legalities can be done.
How did you become this person? I mean, when you were younger, maybe in your primary school or secondary school, were you academically excellent individual, or you're just a little boy trying to be good at copying somebody else's answers?
You know, many times in life, people don't find themselves for the longest time. Don't find themselves. They don't find their purpose in life. They don't know what they want. And I was one of them. Sometimes I think that maybe I'm still that, no? But today I'm on a different path. And for the first 30 years of my life, I was looking for who I was or who I am.
So there were barcadas, friends?
The question
You
moved
have your barcada circle of friends with you just hanging
here,
around?
Filipinos?
When you were still younger?
Here
Like in your
or back
primary
home?
school, back home?
Yeah, there were lots of barcadas, like you have friends.
Yeah, because
and
I recently got this impression that, you know, most people who are in the ranking file, they are actually in the corporate, at least the VP position. And then if you are not performing really good in academics when you were younger, and then you are the entrepreneur.
No, I was okay in academics, and I became an entrepreneur by choice. In 80s, everybody was a robot, you know, everybody wanted a job security, and today I think entrepreneurship is the way. Even corporates are looking for their employees to have that entrepreneurial spirit, no?
But what made you, at that point, what made you choose the path to entrepreneurship?
Oh, I was always sure. I was always sure that the benefits would be higher. I would be able to call my own shots. I would be able to shape my own destiny instead of aligning myself to the needs of my corporate vision. I thought, hey, I can create my own vision.
That's the passive side. Have you thought of the risk and the negative part of being?
Was I afraid?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think I was ever afraid to start up on my own. So people have that fear that, hey, paano ko mag-start? I'm never afraid of that. So, but I have to tell you that I haven't reached the heights of the billionaires, no? So, but I've been successful.
Will it matter if you reach that height?
Today it won't matter. Maybe 20 years ago I thought it would matter. But today I'm kind of easy about where I'm financially. I'm kind of easy about that. I'm much more concerned where I am as a human being.
Okay.
Much more concerned about that, and I'm extremely happy with who I am and what I am as a human being. As a business person, you know, the levels of measure are different. So from your point of view, I may be not very successful, but from somebody else's point of view, I might be doing great. So that's a matter of opinion. What matters really is what you think and feel about yourself. That's important.
So is this something that you train yourself to do? Or where does this
thought come from? I'm of the belief, if you allow me, I'll explain the belief. No? In your opening statement, you made the statement that people fail, succeed, people fail, succeed. What drives them? I think part of who I am is my culture, my DNA, my upbringing, my education.
You mean the culture and all of this back home?
I mean my culture here, Filipino, Pinoy Indian culture, my culture, my education, that's my past. Future lies ahead of me. What matters, what really counts, you know, what is valuable is how I process it internally, how I use my intelligence, how I use my willpower, how I use the faith in myself, you know, how I use that unconscious that is speaking to me powerfully so that I can change and shape my future.
Is it something that you have read in a book maybe, or someone taught you about this?
I think it's a culmination of many things, you know. If you ask Neil Donald Walsh, he'll say God spoke to him. I think maybe something inside of you speaks to you. It's a combination of everything, and then there's that spark, and it says, ito yung direction ko. Ito yung tamang direction ko, no? So it came about maybe 10 years ago for me. 10, 12 years ago, maybe I thought, this is where I'm going, and I like where I'm going.
Most people have